Hello there, I'm Scotty. You're not. Welcome back to Dis-Cember. And we're finishing off the Zenon trilogy with Zenon Z3. Because I want to be cute with the titles. Trying to be clever. Oh, Z3, Zenon 3, Z3, whatever. Hats in the thing. So now, in this one, it's many years later. And now it's, we're doing this race to the moon for some reason. This whole thing is never really explained. It's just, it starts off so quickly. There's not even a chapter 3 thing. It just starts. I actually had to look up Wikipedia to see how far in the future we are. They do say in this, they say it's 2054. And now that brings in the continuity error again, because according to Wikipedia, Zenon is now 18. But if it's 2054 and the last movie she was 15, so they're saying that it was 5 years, because I did from the first film, 2049, right? It's 5 years to 2054. That's 5 years. So if she was 13 in the first film, then 18 makes sense. But they said she was 15 in the last one, which means she would be 19 in this one. Because the first one she's supposed to be 13, but the last one, the second one, said it was a year later and she was 15, which means she was 14 in the first one, which means she'd be 19 here, but she said she's 18. And it's even weird because she's just getting her space car license now. By the way, everything looks a little more futuristic now. They decided to add more futuristic looking stuff than it did with just the cars with the sound. Yeah, or whatever. They made it look more realistic when they show it now. For the most part. And yeah, I like this better than the second one, but it does have its issues. It does. A big one, I think, is that the poster for this shows Zenon, Dasha, which we'll get to, and Bronley, who is played by Glenn McMillan, also known as Dustin, the Yellow Ninja Storm Ranger. So it shows them, you think they're going to be big. Dasha's big, but Bronley, he's barely a side character in this. He shows up and he's been like he's big, but he's a jerk. Sage is really, Ben Easter's character Sage, he's really the male lead. He's the love interest. I don't know why Bronley is on the poster. I don't know if Glenn McMillan's on the poster. I don't know. Because somebody went, he's a Power Ranger, we can market him. And he uses his native Australian accent here, so. Yeah. And I was right. Her parents are not in this. It's just Commander Plank and Aunt Judy. That's it. And we start with she's learning how to drive. And there's this weird mist thing that kind of pushes it. We find out later things. But she's learning how to drive. And she's getting her license now so she can do this race to the moon. She gets it. And then she lands. And then we get the first of 2 cameos from Raven-Symoné, because they brought her back for some reason just to do cameos from a green screen, that she's on vacation somewhere. Only to explain that she's not going to be in this movie. It's her cousin Cassie that is the prerequisite African-American side character in this movie. Honestly, you could have just said this was a recast Nebula, and people wouldn't have batted an eye on it at all. Because she doesn't really serve any other purpose. Nothing else stands out about her. She's just there. In fact, if you just called her Nebula, no one I think would care. But also back is Margie, who is still a bitch. She's like, wouldn't it be totally bad, Major, if she lose? If she doesn't make it. If by that you mean totally fabulo. It's like, yeah, and this guy, he's doing this race to the moon where they're gonna have all this. He's got a dome on there, and they're gonna do all their competitions on the moon for some reason. I don't know. I think it would make it different. But so then we get the subplot. So then we meet Dasha. So Commander Plank and Judy reveal that they are fostering, not adopting for some reason, but fostering a child, 10-year-old named Dasha, who likes to dress just like Zenon, and she's basically a troublemaker like Zenon, which begs the question why Plank would agree to have a girl who's like Zenon and not try to find someone else. Yeah, and her... remember in the last one when I said certain characters were forced? She is one of the most forced characters in this. Because, she's just like Zenon, so she sneaks around like Zenon, and like she goes... Zenon goes to the beach party for the contestants, and she sneaks out, and then she gets in trouble. Not Zenon, but Dasha gets in trouble. And then she overhears them saying, maybe we should get rid of it. And it turns out it's a dog they're talking about, but she thinks it's Dasha, so Dasha thinks it's her, so she sneaks out and ends up sneaking onto the space station, or not the space station, but come think about it, the space station is not even in this movie. Onto the moon station, the dome. Somehow she sneaks in the space pod thing that she flies in her ship. And the way they present Bronley is you think he's going to be love interest, then Sage comes along, and he's a protester. He doesn't want them to colonize the moon. Never really a big reason, he just doesn't want them to do it. And... yeah. And he... yeah. So they do that race to the moon, where Zenon wins. There's a gust that helps her. But we have another subplot with another character who's forced into this movie, Protozoa, who now has hit rock bottom as nobody wants to book him for shows. He wants to be a part of the Moonstock thing, and they don't want him, but they basically force him to. Zenon helps get him booked. And nobody but the three girls are interested in him. They're all interested in this new band called Cosmic Blush. I don't think this singer went anywhere either. Protozoa now has been recast with the character Nathan Edwards, who does a pretty fantastic job with this role, considering he's an American doing a British accent, and oftentimes we can't really do the British accents, can we? Dave Van Dyke? I love Dick Van Dyke, but his British accent has always been off a bit. But no, he's pretty good. He plays the role very well. And he is actually older than the actor who played Protozoa in the first two. They said, he's old. They're like, first of all, they're like, you're not old until you hit 30. I'm 31. Really? I thought he was like 40. He's like 50 something now, so he wasn't. So he was like 30. This was 21 years ago, and yeah, he was. There's around then, but anyway, he's a little bit older than what they said he was, but anyway. But yeah, and that's his subplot, and he gets roped into this by going up there, and he once again he does that, and then Cosmic Plus shows up, and they're all happy for her and not him, and he's just like, you know. Yeah. So then Xenon starts to have weird dreams. I'm trying to remember because I started watching this. So my plan was to get all 3 Xenons done before Saturday Night's main event started, which I thought was 7 o'clock. Turns out, nah. It started at 6. So I had to start this. I watched part of it, then finished it afterwards. So I'm trying to remember everything that happened before. But they had a moon. She started having dreams. The other 2 girls do too, but Bronley doesn't for some reason. And it's about someone. So they decide to do a spacewalk like in the last one. And that's when she discovers it's the moon goddess Selena, but not the one that's on the pictures. And she wants them gone because it's her moon. And she'll keep messing up stuff unless she do what she said. And then Dasha shows up because she's like Xenon, so she's not listening. But then something happened when she came out that locked the thing. The Sage saves them in like 2 seconds, so there was no point to her locking the door behind her. Stupid subplot. There's also another subplot here that isn't going to either, where they do the rock climbing thing, and the what's his face, the host, deliberately makes it so that Xenon can't win. But she wins anyway because Selena helps her. And Brownlee accuses her of cheating because he saw something. And even though she says she didn't, I don't know. The other girls don't like her after that either. But that lasts about 2 seconds too, because once she comes back, she goes to talk to them, and they're like, "Oh, we're sorry." Blah, 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 blah. What was the point of that subplot? So now she needs a way to get off the moon and everything. So she goes to Protozoa and asks how he got there. And he goes, "Darling, you know I don't go anywhere without the most sophisticated touring ship, the Wonder Bus." And it's just like, wait, when did he get that? Because he didn't have it in the first one, he had to take a shuttle. And he didn't have it in the last one because they also needed a shuttle. You know, the Wonder Bus, because I thought about that when I was watching. I'm like, wait, didn't he have a tour bus thing in the last one? In the third one? Yeah. So all of a sudden he has this. He's like, which I can no longer afford. And I'm like, so when did you get it? Did he get it after the last movie? I'm guessing. He didn't have it in the last one. They get everyone off, and they're ready to do the competition. Bronny, this bugs me because she tries to tell Bronny what's going on. He goes, "Nuh-uh, this is a ploy so that you can win again." And it's like, why is it all these movies are frustrating when no one believes her? She tells him what's going on, because when Sage tries to boycott this thing, he gets. This was incredibly stupid. This was earlier before the spacewalk, but like he tries to boycott it. So they're like, take him to my office, where I have my evil plans, and he can find them very easily because it's hidden on the wall. Yeah. He plans to colonize the moon. That's what they find out. So, yeah. So they tell him to stop, and he's like, "No, I want proof." And so Selena shows up and makes him float up to the walls. Everyone's like, "Oh, okay." Everybody onto the Wonder Bus. They all get him on there. And Bronley believes her when the gravity thing happens. And gravity, every once in a while, a gravity thing will happen to prove that she's still doing this shit. Oh, also in the subplot, Commander Plank and Aunt Judy have realized that Dasha is gone and have taken a shuttle up to the moon to find her. And then they have car troubles because they're stuck on the moon. They can't get it started. It's important to the plot because then the 4 contestants, also Dasha and Sage. Sage is with Zenon, why did I forget her name? And Dasha is with Cassie, I think. Or Margie, one of the two. They attach to the thing on the bottom, and they have to have Xenon, because like, someone wrote, oh, she's just learning how to drive, so we have to make sure she messes up. Because she might goes make a pass, and she misses. It's okay, I'm looking around to it again. And she does it, and it's like, why couldn't she just get it on the first try? I get it, she's a first-time driver, but this is a movie. We don't need everything to be that realistic. The CGI is not so good in this shot anyway. Not like at all. Everything is CGI and it's not good. There's also some bad green screen on here. Like every time they show Nebula, she's clearly on a green screen, and it's not good green screen. No. But so they try to raise it and they don't have enough power, but here comes Commander Plank and Aunt Judy, and we get a daddy. So there's that plot done, and there latch on, lift it up. Selena uses some magic, makes it go away, and yeah, now she's happy. And we have a little celebration party on the mainland where, on Earth, Earth, where they reveal the dog, though the miscommunication part, the misunderstanding part is never brought up. She never says, oh, you want to get rid of me or anything. No, we were talking about the dog, that's never brought up. There's like, oh, here, you're going to take responsibility, walking. And he has a line, hopefully you have better training him than I had. You're just going to fork it over to her then. This 10-year-old girl has to train your dog for you. Now, because Protozoa helped rescue people, he's now a hero and wanted again. So he sings a duet with Cosmic Blush. You're out of this world, can't get any better. You wanna last forever, keep your head up, don't look down. That also played all over the place. Which, because I didn't know, and there was another case with Protozoa, like with Protozoa's hair in the last one, where, you know, they show them performing. I'm like, oh, okay, who are they? And then you get the movie, it's like, that's Protozoa. That's Protozoa. They recast him. He's good, though. He's good. I've seen him in other things. I don't remember who it was. But I've seen him, what it was. I've seen him in other things. I know I have. I'm not going to look it up. But yeah, and then it ends with Zenon and Sage walking on the beach. And the what's-his-face guy wants to try to do a contest on Mars, where she warns him, if you thought the moon goddess was bad, Mars is the god of war. Yeah, no, you don't want that. Nope. Just take the Earth, my man. I always thought that was set up for a sequel. We never got one. It's clear, though, that Dash's, because Kirsten Storms was getting up there in age. She wasn't a kid at this point. She was an adult, as was I. I was 18. She's older than me, though. I'm going to have to look it up quick. I think she's 40 exactly. She might be 2 years older than me. 41. She's 3 years older than me. 1984, yep, 3 years older than me. So in 2000, she'd have been 20 years old. She'd been 20 years old. Depending on when her birthday is April, when the movie come out. June. Yeah, she was 20. So I see what happened. They messed up. I get it now. I get it. She was 13 in the first one, but she was 14 in real life. So when they went to do the next one, they went by her real age, right? Is that, yeah? She was born in 84. So you go 1994. plus 6. 94, that's 10. Plus 6. 2000, she'd be 16? Yes. No, she was already 15? No, I'm not doing it right. So, 94, she'd be 10. 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. So she was already 15? No. She had to be 14. When did the first one come out? Hold on. January. She was 14. She was still 14. She hadn't turned 15 yet. So she was 14. And then the second one came out. So I see what happened. The second one came out in January of 2001. Or she was 15. So what happened was, in the first one, they said she was 13. But when they did the second one, they went by her real age, which was 15. Even though the character should have been 14. And now, they went back to the original aging, that she was, the original thing that she was 13 in the first one. And she's 18 even though she was 20. You get that? And yeah. So my point is, she was no longer a kid. So the thought of me and other people who have watched this is that they added Dasha as a way to get a kid character in there and to sort of push like a spin-off or something. I think that's also why they added Cassie. Though, I don't know how young she's supposed to be. She's driving. But, I don't know. But yeah. And that's the last that we see. Them. Of all these characters. Because that's it. That's it. And I like it better than the second one. I'll give it a high middle of the road. So it's higher than the second one, but not as good as the first one. The first one's still the best one, I think. But, yeah. So, what are your thoughts on Zenon Z3? Then scratch it off. No comments below. Make sure to like, share, and subscribe. Thank you for watching. I'm Sky, and I'll see you. I do this in the next one.